The reading today is Proverbs chapter 8. Does not wisdom call? Does not understanding raise her voice? On the heights beside the way, at the crossroads she takes her stand. Beside the gates in front of the town, at the entrance of the portals, she cries aloud. To you, O men, I call, and my cry is to the children of man. O simple ones, learn prudence. O fools, learn sense. Hear, for I will speak noble things, and from my lips will come what is right. For my mouth will utter truth. Wickedness is an abomination to my lips. All the words of my mouth are righteous. There is nothing twisted or crooked in them. They are all straight to him who understands, and right to those who find knowledge. Take my instruction instead of silver, and knowledge rather than choice gold. For wisdom is better than jewels, and all that you may desire cannot compare with her. I, wisdom, dwell with prudence, and I find knowledge and discretion. The fear of the Lord is hatred of evil. Pride and arrogance and the way of evil and perverted speech I hate. I have counsel and sound wisdom. I have insight. I have strength. By me kings reign, and rulers decree what is just. By me princes rule, and nobles, all who govern justly. I love those who love me, and those who seek me diligently find me. Riches and honor are with me, enduring wealth and righteousness. My fruit is better than gold, even fine gold, and my yield than choice silver. I walk in the way of righteousness, in the paths of justice, granting an inheritance to those who love me, and filling their treasuries. The Lord possessed me at the beginning of his work, the first of his acts of old. Ages ago I was set up, at the first, before the beginning of the earth. When there were no depths I was brought forth, when there were no springs abounding with water. Before the mountains had been shaped, before the hills I was brought forth. Before he had made the earth with its fields, or the first of the dust of the world. When he established the heavens, I was there. When he drew a circle on the face of the deep, when he made firm the skies above, when he established the fountains of the deep, when he assigned to the sea its limit so that the waters might not transgress his command, when he marked out the foundations of the earth, then I was beside him like a master workman, and I was daily his delight, rejoicing before him always, rejoicing in his inhabited world and delighting in the children of man. And now, O sons, listen to me. Blessed are those who keep my ways. Hear instruction and be wise, and do not neglect it. Blessed is the one who listens to me, watching daily at my gates, waiting beside my doors. For whoever finds me finds life and obtains favor from the Lord. But he who fails to find me injures himself. All who hate me love death.
Thank you very much, Tavia. Good morning again, Vine Church. As you can see, Tavia, great job on I gave her a large section of scripture there. And so she did great on that. Let's see if I can do well, because I'm not doing just chapter 8, but I'm also doing chapter 7. And you're like scared, you want to leave now, right? I'm overviewing these chapters as we jump into Proverbs here. Of course, Proverbs being the wise sayings. The word proverb is a wise saying. And so we looked at this last week, the idea that primarily Solomon is attributed with most of the book of Proverbs. He is the one giving the wise saying, the one who asks of God, give me wisdom that I might rule your people. God gives him a wisdom that God says is beyond wisdom he's ever given to any other human being. Wisdom being not the same as knowledge, not acquiring information, but wisdom being the skill of rightly applying knowledge. So if you have right understanding or knowledge, how do you then apply that correctly? And there's a skill to that, is what wisdom is. It's the skill developed. There's a discipline or a training involved to developing this skill. And so to have wisdom is to take the knowledge that you have, and then it's the skill to apply that, something we grow and mature in. And so we looked at this a little bit last week, right? The idea that Proverbs here is Solomon giving us this wisdom, this skill. He's also giving us understanding and instruction and the understanding how things are designed, a shrewdness or a plan. He's giving us all of this stuff, and he starts off by saying, where do we begin? The beginning of this knowledge, or the beginning of wisdom, is found in a fear of God. And we looked at the idea of fear of God as kind of a primary thing. If you want to know, where do I start with acquiring knowledge? Where do I start with acquiring wisdom or the skill of applying knowledge? Where do I start with that? And the scriptures say you start with a healthy fear of God. And we looked at the idea of fear is not just terror. It is the idea of like, you are big and I am small. You are powerful, I am not. I use the illustration of standing before the ocean. When you stand before the ocean, you're not big, it's big. There's a fear in that. There's a healthy terror in that. But it's more than just terror. It's the idea of awe or respect or reverence. And they both work together. I understand that I am not him. He is superior to me, and that wells up in me an awe or a reverence for God. And that idea, this awe and reverence of God, is the beginning of knowledge, the beginning of wisdom, is what was stated last week. Last week, we also saw in the midst of there this start of a comparison between foolishness and wisdom. And you'll see this throughout all of Proverbs. We're not going line by line, verse by verse through Proverbs as we would do other stuff. This is just kind of a summer series where we're going to be looking at different topics. But one of the themes you're going to see as we look at different topics is this constant comparison between foolishness and wisdom. Foolishness and wisdom. And so today, I want to develop that theme a bit more. And so that's why we're looking at chapters 7 and 8. And like I said, don't be scared too much in that. I'm just going to fly over these two chapters, because what you're seeing in these two chapters is the personification of foolishness and the personification of wisdom. So the idea here, if wisdom were a person, what would it be? And it's described here as Lady Wisdom. It's given a gender. It's Lady Wisdom. And then foolishness, you'll see in we're not going to get it in chapter 9, but chapter 9 uses the term, the woman Folly. And you'll see her activity in chapter 7 that we'll look at. So think of the idea of the woman Folly and the Lady Wisdom. If wisdom and folly were personified, this is the descriptions that Solomon is giving to his son. So let's just jump right in here, right? The very first line, in chapter 7, verse 1, it says, "My son, keep my words and treasure up my commandments with you. Keep my commandments and live. Keep my teachings as the apple of your eye. Bind them on your fingers. Write them on the tablets of your heart." This is Solomon as he keeps doing. You'll see in the first, like maybe 15 or so chapters of Proverbs, this father giving wisdom to his son. You'll see that. My son, heed my words. My son, words. It's a father giving wisdom to his son, and he's saying, heed my commands, heed my teachings. Like, this is a constant thing, the idea of, this is valuable, please listen to and heed what I'm going to say. And then he brings up these two ladies, verse 4. "Say to wisdom, you are my sister, and call insight your intimate friend, and keep you from the forbidden woman, from the adulteress and her smooth words." So this idea here is he's saying wisdom, keep wisdom, this skill of applying knowledge correctly, keep that like a sister. Keep that like a wise friend is what he's saying. See this as a positive in your life. I've never had a sister, right? So I don't know how you view that as the positive. I see it in our family where, I've got a son in the middle that's got an older sister and a younger sister. There's definitely an older sister that mothers a bit of the younger a bit. Like there's something to like this care that a sister would have, this love that a sister would have. Think of wisdom as a caring, loving sister that wants what's best for you. Think of it like an intimate friend, like a deep, close friendship. May wisdom be that close to you that it's like a close friend and a sister. But the foolish, but wisdom folly, but woman folly, let her be the forbidden woman. Let her be the adulteress with her smooth words. Like, see those as two opposing. The woman that you're supposed to, the forbidden woman, the adulteress, versus the sister or the intimate friend. So he's setting up this picture here at the beginning of 7. Verse 6 of chapter 7, he says, "For at the window of my house I have looked through the lattice. I've seen among the simple, I have perceived among the youth, a young man lacking sense, as he passes along the streets near her corner, taking the road to her house in the twilight and the evening at the dark of the night. What you're seeing here in chapter 7 is you're going to see the woman Folly. You're going to see the person getting close to the woman Folly. The idea of folly is foolishness. It's the idea of stupidity. I could try to describe that a bit more, but we understand when we're doing something foolish. We understand when we're doing something that is stupid or not wise. These are contrary to one another. And he's saying here, the father to his son, he's like, I've looked through my window through the lattice, and I see specifically the simple and the youth. These are same terms that we saw last week. Remember, the simple was the naive, and the youth was the immature. So the one who doesn't have a lot of experience in life, and the one that's a little bit naive, I see these people going close to folly, is what's happening here. Specific wording that he says, these people lack sense. They go near her corner. They go to the road of her house at twilight, in evening, the night in darkness. They're going up close to it. So if you think of this idea of the woman Folly as the adulteress, it's saying here that the naive and immature are getting real close. They're going to where she's at. They're going to her area, and they're going to her area in the dark of night. When you go to the dark of night is a time where you can't be seen as well. There's less dark of night now, right? But we still always tell our kids, there's no point in being out at 2 a.m., nothing good happens at 2 a.m. No kid ever listens to their parents when their parents say that to them, but that's the typical line that goes on, right? It's less and less now because there's a lot of ambient light, so you can make the nighttime light time nowadays. But in this culture, there wasn't as much ambient light. You're going out at dark at night because you don't want to be seen in what you're doing. And what's happening here is the person is flirting with folly. He's flirting with stupidity. He's getting close to it, but not quite going over the edge. He's presenting himself to it and making himself really available. I mean, how many of us do that sometimes, right? We know this thing is stupid to do. We know this thing is a foolish activity to do. We're not going to do it, but we're going to get really close to it. We're going to just flirt on the edges, just get right on the edge of this thing, and we're not deciding to go over, but we just want to get real close to that really foolish decision that we're about to make. This is the picture that they're showing us here. So what happens at this point? It says in verse 10 that the woman, and behold, the woman meets him, dressed as a prostitute, wily at heart, for she is loud and wayward. Her feet do not stay at home. Now in the streets, now in the markets, and every corner she lies in wait to seize him, to kiss him. With bold face she says to him, I'll pause it there in verse 13. The idea here is this person is flirting with foolishness, flirting with stupidity, getting close to it in the time of day where you think you can't be seen, and the woman Folly is there. She's there to meet him. She's there to greet him. She's there to entice him to come on over. You're close, just come over the line is what she's at. She's wily, loud, wayward. It says here that she's now in the streets, now in the markets. She's coming out of the darkness and coming more into the light to find the person. She lies in wait is the idea of an ambush to seize him and to kiss him. So this picture, there's some debate about this chapter, right? Is it just about prostitution and for a young man not to present himself or get close to prostitution, or is it more this bigger idea of folly? Of course, you can see where I'm presenting this more. I don't think it's less than a person that shouldn't be straying into sexual sin. I don't think it's less than that, but I do think it's more than that. And I think specifically, if you want to dive into it, chapter 9, verse 13 and beyond, the kind of description that's given to the woman Folly in 9:13 is a very similar description of what you're seeing here in chapter 7. This idea here, though, is we present ourselves real close to folly and stupidity, and she's lying in wait, ready to ambush. And it says, verse 13, she seizes him and kisses him. With bold face, she says to him, I had to offer sacrifices, and today I have paid my vows. Now I have come out to meet you. To seek you eagerly, I have found you. This idea, it's a weird thing. The woman Folly, the prostitute, is going and making her vows to God. She's doing some form of worship. She says to the man, I had to go take care of my religious responsibilities, then I can come back to you. It's a weird thought, like that foolishness would present herself as like someone that's religious. Foolishness would present herself as someone is on God's side or doing godly activity, but then I'm going to come and bring you into foolishness. She says specifically that I seek you eagerly. This is one that finds value in you. Like so it's trying to show you. So the woman Folly is there waiting to trap you. She's presenting herself as somewhat religious, but not. She's also there to flatter you and make you feel good about yourself. Like this, there's a flattery that's taking place. Verse 16, it talks about, I'll briefly skip over some of this. She's preparing a couch. She's got Egyptian linens, perfume in her bed, aloes, cinnamon. Verse 18, it says, come, let us take our fill till morning. Let us delight ourselves in love. This take our fill till morning is the idea of like, let's fully give ourselves over to the desires of the moment. Let's just fully engulf that thing. Just live for the moment. Live for what's here tonight, is what she's saying. And she specifically says right after that, for my husband is not home. He's gone on a long journey. He has a bag of money with him, and at full moon he will come home. We have the full night. My husband's not going to be home. We will not be caught, is the idea. Think of this idea, and this is a weird thing, because we're thinking about a specific scenario, but then this is the woman Folly. You are looking at foolishness and stupidity, and you're putting yourselves right on the edge of it, and she's saying, come here. Like, I love you. I think you're great. I think you're really, I think you could benefit from let me do my religious activity, and then I'm here for you. Let's fully engage in what we desire. Is that not what stupidity and foolishness is saying? Just jump in and fully engage. Like give yourself over to it just for the moment. Let's just have this night together. Do whatever the stupid thing is for tonight and deal with it later. And the reality is you don't even have to deal with it because my husband's not here. You're not going to be caught. We will not be found out. It's safe is what she's presenting itself as. I mean, it's not just this scenario. That's where foolishness is. That's where stupidity is. We put ourselves close, and it's saying, just fulfill your desires right now for the moment, and there is no cost for this long term. We will not be found out. Verse 21, it says, with much seductive speech she persuades him. With her smooth talk she compels him. So she's gotten to the point where this guy who's presenting himself, he hasn't gone over the edge, he's just presenting himself there. And she's doing the enticement, but she's got him. Like, he's already at the edge. There's not much you have to do to push him over the line. She does what she does to push him over the line, and she compels, she persuades. Persuades the idea of enticing or deceiving. And she compels him and persuades him. So what's the response of that, or what's the sorry, I had to find my spot there. So she compels him. Verse 22, it says, at once he follows her. As an ox goes down to the slaughter, as a stag is caught fast till the arrow pierces its liver, as a bird rushes into a snare, he does not know it will cost him his life. That's a powerful line. Like he's saying, you're getting right to the edge, and all she has to do is a little bit of, compelling for you to act in the fool, to act stupidity, and it says she compelled you to do it. Little did you know, you're like the ox going to slaughter. You ever see that? Like I don't know. Like I was watching a farming show. I'm lame. I don't know. Like what's it called? Carson's Farm on Amazon. Clarkson's Farm on Amazon. Okay, I have to say the actual show because it's that good. Go watch it. But like he's got a bunch of cows, and he's got to like load them into the truck to take them off to slaughter. And I remember thinking like, this cow doesn't know what's coming. Like they don't know. Don't get in there. That is not a ride you want to take. Don't get in that thing. They don't understand. That's the picture here. The person who's flirting with stupidity, flirting with foolishness, they don't understand that once she gets you, you're like the cattle that got in the back of the thing and you're going to slaughter. The word she says also, like he says that you're like the stag caught fast, like the deer walking through the forest, and it just stops. Don't stop. Keep going. If you stop, that guy is able to let go of the arrow to pierce your liver and kill you. Or the picture here of the bird that rushes through the snare. Like you're just so fast and running through life, you didn't realize, oh, there was a piece of wire around that trail and now I'm dead. These are the pictures that it's saying. Like you're like you're like the dumb cow that's just getting into the back of the thing to go to your slaughter. You're like the deer that's just standing there when you should be running from the arrow. You're also like just so fast and running through life that you're like the bird that flying down the trail, not realizing there's a piece of wire to snag you at the neck. And it says specifically, he does not know that it will cost him his life. The woman Folly is there to entice. Don't get close. Don't listen to what folly and stupidity is saying. Verse 24, it says, now, O sons, listen to me. Be attentive to my words of my mouth. Let not your heart turn aside to her. Do not stray into her path. For many a victim has she laid low, and all of her slain are a mighty throng. Her house is the way to Sheol, going down to the chambers of death. Listen, be attentive. Don't turn your heart to foolishness. Don't turn your heart to stupidity. That's what it's saying. She has laid low many victims. The path she is leading you to is Sheol. The path that she is leading to you is death. This is one side of the equation that Proverbs is throwing out. It's a strong warning to say there is foolishness, there is stupidity. That is the opposite of wisdom. Be the wise person, don't be the fool. The fool flirts closely with it, and she will entice you. Don't flirt closely with it, because you don't understand what it's doing is it's leading you to your death. Chapter 8, verse 1 says here, does not the wisdom call? So the idea here, you have the woman Folly, but isn't wisdom also calling? Isn't wisdom also making her call? Does not understanding raise her voice? On the heights beside the way, on the crossroad she takes her stand. Besides the gate in the front of the town, at the entrance of the portal she cries aloud, to you, O men, I call, and my cry is to the children of humanity. So here's the point that the father is saying to his son, Solomon's saying to his son, you have foolishness over here, leading to the way of death, but isn't wisdom also calling you? Isn't wisdom also there, calling you the same way? Crying to humanity, crying to the children of humanity to listen to her. Specifically, it says that she is on the heights of the way. So she's at an elevated site by the road. She's at the crossroads where she positions herself. She's in the front of the town at the gates. At the entrance of the portals, she's crying aloud. What's the picture here? She's out in public. She's out in the open. The Lady Wisdom is out in the open, always calling to us. The woman Folly, we're like having to go out at dark at night and get close to her but the woman, I'm going to get these so confused, right? The Lady Wisdom is out in the crossroads. She's at the four-way intersection. She's on the elevated position by the side of the road. She's at the entrance to the town. She's there always, like publicly, clear, out in front of you saying, listen to me. Humans, listen to my cry, is what wisdom is saying. Steph and I were talking about this a bit last week, and she was thinking of the picture of the angel and the demon, on the shoulders, the old cartoon, where you got one voice saying one way, the other voice saying the other. That's a good picture of this, right? Like both voices are there. The woman Folly is telling you, like, come here. It's sweet. I prepared the bed. I got the spices. It's ready. The husband's not going to be back. Like, you're not going to be caught. Let's just enjoy ourselves for the moment. Just like follow your desires for the moment. And wisdom saying, no, I'm here. Listen to me. I've been here all along. Listen to my voice. Verse 5, it says, O simple ones, learn prudence. O fools, learn sense. So these simple or fools, she wants you to learn or grow in prudence and sense. Prudence is the idea of clever, cunning, or trickery. Why would Lady Wisdom want you to learn cunning, clever, trick? She wants you to be able to see when the woman Folly is trying to trick you. She wants you to have this prudence or this shrewdness that we saw last week, this ability to sniff out a trap and say, that's a trap. She also wants you to learn sense, or sense is the idea of determination or courage. You put those two together. She wants us to grow in a way that we can sniff out the trap and have the courage to say no. To have boldness and courage to say, I know foolishness is trying to trick me. I say no, what I want is wisdom. She goes on from here and starts giving some kind of laying out her resume a bit. She says that she speaks noble things. From her lips will come what is right. Her mouth will speak what is utterly true. Wickedness is an abomination to her. All the words of her mouth are righteous. There is nothing twisted or crooked in them. They are all straight to him who understands, and right to those who find knowledge. She goes on to this. She's trying to present herself as, I am trustworthy. I am giving you truth. I'm giving you what is right. I am not going to make things crooked or pervert things. I'm giving you a straight path. I'm laying it out straight for you. Wisdom is not going to trick you. Wisdom is giving you what is true, what is straight or real. She goes on from there, not just that she should be trusted, but she says in verse 10, take my instruction take my instruction instead of silver, and knowledge rather than choice gold. For wisdom is better than jewels, and all that you may desire cannot compare with her. So what wisdom is saying is like, I am true and trustworthy, a straight line, but I am also valuable. I am better than gold. I am better than silver. I am better than fine jewels, is what wisdom is saying, the Lady Wisdom. I'm better than all of those things. Whatever you might desire cannot compare with Lady Wisdom, which is a good comparison. What was the woman Folly saying? She was saying, just fulfill your desires. Just let love have its course for the night. Just do what you feel is good and right for the moment, and just do it. And the Lady Wisdom is saying that desire is nothing in comparison to what Lady Wisdom can give you. So if you're thinking the idea like, well, I'm flirting close to it because I want to do this thing. It will be fun. I'll enjoy it, and there's no consequences, which is wrong. Like I'm flirting with this, and she's saying, even if you got that and drank it all full and had all of it, it's not at anywhere close to compare to what wisdom has to offer. Wisdom is more valuable than gold and silver and any jewel that you can imagine. She's laying out her value while she's also speaking of her trustworthiness. She goes back and forth with this, a good portion of this chapter here. She talks about how wisdom dwells with prudence. She finds knowledge and discretion. The fear of the Lord is the hatred of evil. So again, we see this idea of the fear of the Lord. So we saw last week, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. We've seen in other places that the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. Now you see here that the fear of the Lord is the hatred of evil. So to have a healthy respect and awe of God and his power and who he is and his authority and all of those things, it leads to a hatred of evil, a hatred of foolishness, a hatred of stupidity, not trying to get close to it. You see the trap that's there. You see that's the ox going to the slaughter, the bird that's caught in the wire. So it's that, you're getting close to it. And she's saying specifically here, or the fear of the Lord is the beginning of a hatred of this evil, this foolishness. Pride and arrogance are the way of evil. Perverted speech I hate. Verse 14, I have counsel and sound wisdom. I have insight. I have strength. By me kings reign and rulers decree what is just. And by me princes rule and nobles, all who govern justly. She's saying even here, like a king or a ruler, a president or whatever, if they govern justly, they're governed justly by wisdom. Lady Wisdom is the one giving them what's the skill necessary for them to govern justly. Not all govern justly, but the ones that do. Verse 17, I love those who love me, and those who seek me find me. Riches and honor are with me, enduring wealth and righteousness. My fruit is better than gold and fine gold. My yield than choice silver. I walk in the way of righteousness and the path of justice. I grant an inheritance to those who love me, and filling their treasuries. I mean, all of that. She's just kind of saying over and over again, multiple different ways, Lady Wisdom's trying to say, I am trustworthy and valuable. I can be trusted. I give you truth. I give you the straight way. I give you what is good and healthy. I'm not giving you what is evil. I'm not giving you what is crooked, but I'm giving you what is true and right, and it is valuable, so valuable that she says here, an inheritance for those who love me is that she fills their treasuries. Verse 22 through 31, I won't go through all of this, but there's a bit here to pull out. She says in verse 22, the Lord possessed me at the beginning of his work, the first of his acts of old. The ages ago I was set up at the first before the beginning of the earth. What Lady Wisdom is saying is, I was there from the beginning. God created me before he created anything else. So not only is she trustworthy and valuable, she is constant. She's been there from the beginning. She'll go into 10 plus verses on the fact that she was with God before there were depths, before there were springs, before there were mountains, before he had made the earth and the fields, before there was dust. Verse 27, when he established the heavens, I was there. Before he made the skies above, the fountains of the deep, the seas giving it its limits, before the foundations of the earth. Verse 30, then I was beside him like a master workman, and I was daily his delight, rejoicing before him always. What Lady Wisdom is saying, God created me first and foremost. Like, wisdom itself is a creation of God. And I was there from the beginning. Before God made anything, wisdom was there. So she's saying, I'm out in public. I'm at the crossroads. I'm elevated above the street. I'm trying to call out to you. Humans, listen to me, is what wisdom's saying. I've been here all along. I am trustworthy. I'm giving you what is true. I'm giving you what's beneficial to your life. I am giving you something more valuable than you can ever imagine. Heed my words, is what she's saying. Rejoicing in the inhabitants of the world. Wisdom is rejoicing, having joy in the inhabitants of the world, us, and delighting in the children of man. She delights in us. That's a beautiful picture there, right? So that same line of she delights in the children of man, it said earlier that she's crying out to the children of man. The children of humanity. She's crying out to you, and she delights in you. The woman Folly does not delight in you. She's wanting to destroy you. The Lady Wisdom delights in you. She's crying out to you for your benefit. This last little section here in verse 32, it says, and now, O sons, listen to me. Blessed are those who keep my ways. Hear instruction and be wise, and do not neglect it. Yeah, so he's essentially getting you to the point, like, understand the scenario that's going on here. Understanding the choice between foolishness and the choice between wisdom. Understand not to present yourself close to foolishness thinking you're not going to go over the edge. You're going to go over the edge because she's going to entice you over the edge to your destruction. Instead, listen to the fact that Lady Wisdom is calling out to you, that she is trustworthy and valuable and always been there. Listen to her. The choice is before us. Listen to her. Blessed are those, happy and fortunate are those who keep her ways, who understand the value of wisdom over foolishness and are seeking wisdom in your life. You are blessed, happy and fortunate. Hear her instruction and be wise. Develop the skill of wisdom. To be wise is taking wisdom, like the idea of taking this knowledge and applying that knowledge, the skill of applying that correctly. Develop that skill. Grow in that skill. Like an athlete who's training for a race, develop that skill is what's going on here. That person who sees the value of wisdom, who's trying to mature in wisdom, who's trying to grow and develop the skill of wisdom, this person is blessed. Do not neglect it. Blessed is the one who listens to me, watching daily at my gates, watching besides my door. So the idea here, right, is not just like you see that wisdom is valuable and you're developing the skill, but you are putting yourself close to wisdom. You're like hunger and waiting for it. You're on the edge. Instead of going out to the woman Folly at night and staying next to her, and trying to get close there. She's saying, get close to Lady Wisdom. Present yourself to her. Get on her side. Get close to her. There's this idea here. Watching daily at her gates, waiting beside her door. For whoever finds me finds life and obtains favor from the Lord. The results of Lady Wisdom is life and the favor of God. And then it says here, but whoever fails to find me, or would find the woman Folly, injures himself. All who hate me love death. I just want to set the stage as we go through Proverbs on this understanding of the comparison between wisdom and folly, wisdom and foolishness. The question is, are we going to be a fool or are we going to be wise? This is the question presented before us today. This is not a new question. Apparently, Lady Wisdom has been there from the beginning. Every human that's ever walked this earth has to decide between the woman Folly and Lady Wisdom. Are we going to make the wise choice? Are we going to be a person that pursues wisdom? Or are we going to flirt with foolishness and be the person who makes foolish choices? Are we going to listen to the sister and the close friend or the adulteress is what's presented before us? The Lady Folly is presented as someone who meets you when you come near her. She persuades and compels you. She speaks of your enjoyment without consequences, and her way leads to the way of Sheol, the chambers of death. Lady Wisdom, your sister, your close friend, calls out in the open. She's been there from the beginning. She is a trustworthy, true source who pursues righteousness and justice, someone who is extremely valuable and the one that brings favor and life. This is the question before us. Now, I know we want to filter it through all the specifics. The specifics will come. What we need to see is that once we get past the beginning of wisdom is the fear of God, we got to see this balance between, or this constant take between folly and wisdom, and understand that both are vying for our attention. Both want us to make their choice. And the idea here is, are we going to get close to the way of the fool, thinking we're going to be the one that doesn't cross over? We're going to be the one that doesn't actually fall for the trap and go over the edge? Or are we going to present ourselves to Lady Wisdom? Get close to her, get close to that decision. Desire, that we would have a desire for wisdom, that we would see this far more valuable than any immediate gratification we might get over here. And don't believe the lie that there's not consequences with the Lady Folly, or the woman Folly. There's consequences to that. See that she is lying to us, and present over here that we want to be people of wisdom. We want to be people who grow in the skill of the ability to apply our knowledge in a right way. Let's go ahead and pray. Father, we thank you so much for all that was presented in these few chapters. Lord, thank you for the wisdom of Solomon presented to us today to lay before us a choice. Lord, there is a choice before us that has always been there. There's a choice before us that will be there the rest of our lives, and a choice that has been there from the beginning of humanity. Lord, help us to be a people that value wisdom, that see its extreme value in our life, and we are a person that presents ourselves to wisdom, seeking to grow in it, seeking to mature in wisdom, rather than being someone who is flirting with folly or destruction or stupidity, Lord. Lord, help us to right now, as we have a bit of our right mind in front of us, that you would help us, by the power of your Spirit, to make a decision today to seek wisdom in our life. To not try to see how close to folly we can get, but Lord, try to seek wisdom. Understand that wisdom itself is a creation of you. Wisdom is how you want us to live and walk in our lives. So Lord, help us to be a wise people today. Help us to set our minds and hearts towards that goal, and to see the destruction connected to folly. So Lord, speak to our hearts today. May you be glorified in your church. We pray this in Jesus' name. Amen. Vine Church, I encourage you to spend some time with the Lord here. My real encouragement to you is to understand that same question that's been presented to humanity for all of eternity, for all the time past, is presented to you today. It has been presented to you in the past. It's presented to you right now. And the question is, what are you going to do with it? Which path are you going to choose? Which person are you going to listen to? What's going to be the guiding presence in your life is the question before us. And the same question I have to wrestle with. And so I encourage you that as you take communion today, and remember the sacrifice of Jesus, which is the payment for our foolishness. For the foolish activities we've had, the foolish decisions we've made, he pays for those on the cross and makes us clean again so that we can get up again and pursue wisdom and not pursue foolishness in the future. So come and take communion when you're ready. Spend time in prayer seeking whatever it is the Lord's leading to you on your heart through our study today, and just spend some time interacting with him today. So come and take communion when you're ready.